Now we're gonna work on the second part of our array modify command. So now we're gonna go to polar array. So we did a rectangular array on the previous exercise. So now we're gonna do polar array. In polar array, again, it allows us to create multiple copies at once. Now the polar array allows us to go ahead and create something based on a center point or an axis point if we want. So in this particular case, you're going to have these different shapes and you're going to make multiple copies of them. So let's do the simple one right here. This is a polar array, and we're going to, the instruction says lemon slice, array the triangle 6 times around the center point of the circle. Make sure it's around the center of the circle and not the end point of the triangle. Okay, so the first thing it says, select the object right here on the command line. So I'm going to select my object, and then I'm going to hit enter, and then it says specify center point of array, or, and then we have different options. So in this case, it's just going to be the center point of the circle. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little more. Center point of the circle, click there, and you'll see that it automatically gives you a sample of what's going to happen. Now, in difference or in contrast with our rectangular array, you'll see that you have items, you have rows, you have labels. We still have labels, but we don't have columns and rows. We only have items. So in this particular case, we're only going to go and say, okay, this is the number of items that we need. Your exercise right here says 6 sides. So the sample actually gives you 2, 4, 6 sides, and they are evenly distributed around the entire circle. If that's the case, but if I wanted 4 per se, then I can type 4, and then I can just click right here and it gives me 4, and they get evenly distributed around here. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to say, no, I actually need 6 right here. So I'm going to click, so it gives me a sample. Okay. And then if I wanted this to be not 360 degrees on a full circle, but I wanted it to be only 180 degrees, I can type the amount of degrees that I want where it says fill, and then it will go and place those only on the amount of degrees that I put right here. But my exercise says full circle right now, so 360, and then you can see that it gives you the angles in between each one of those objects. When I am done with this thing, I simply go and say close the array right here, and then it's done. And I can see it. If I click on it, it becomes one single unit. So if I needed to modify something right here, and that happens also on the rectangular array. If you need to modify something, then you have to go back to your home tab right here, your modify command of explode right here, and we're simply going to go and explode this item, and now it becomes individual parts. Okay, so you have to do that if you need to modify something. Let's say that you didn't need everything, you only needed those 5, but this one wasn't supposed to be there. If you don't explode that entity, then you cannot remove parts of the overall object. Okay, so that happens there. So I'm able to take away certain things. So I could just select and say, okay, I'm going to take all this out, and I can just delete. Select that, that, if I needed to do that. Now, the reason why it's going to be important to be able to explode and manipulate things is because, for example, this clock right here. Okay, you have some instructions right here. It says, array the number 12 times. Numbers must be non-rotated, which means they all have to go in the vertical direction. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so forth. It's a clock, 12 hours. Then you have a small hand right here and a smaller hand right here. Those are the minutes and the seconds. So everything is stated right here. array 60 small lines, which is the red one, and array 12 larger lines, which are the magenta lines, this right here. So let's go ahead and do the number if we want first, and then we'll do the lines. So polar array, select my object, hit enter, and then it's going to be from the center, right? It says specify center point of array, or, so I click that. See, it gives me a sample of 6 items, but because it's a clock I need 12, so I'm going to go here and type 12 items. They're going to go around the circle, so I just click somewhere right here and it gives me my 12 numbers for my 12 hours. Now you can see that the numbers are being rotated, but the instruction said numbers must be non-rotated. So we have to go and under the option of rotate items right here, if you click, see, it allows you to go and see, it rotates there, rotates, and if you're done, you simply go and close, and now you have those there. Now this is 12, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. If I want to make this hour 3, it doesn't allow me to do it. Why? Because it becomes a single entity. When I array something, however many units I create, they become one single unit. So in order for me to modify that, I'm gonna have to go again, explode, click on the part, and then hit enter. And now I can actually go right here and say it's a individual number. So I can just double click, quickly double click there, and that's 3, right? And I can go here and say, that's when you see the screen turning light blue, that means you're able to modify that. So that's 9. Click again, that'll be 10. That will be 11, and so forth. So you can do that. Right, hit enter, you're done with that. You just have to do that with every single one of them. Now it says that my smaller line, or the small line, needs to be arrayed 60 times and the larger one 12 times. So I zoom in again right here, go polar array, select my line right here from the center of the circle, and I need 12 items. So simply go 12, click somewhere here, it gives me 12 lines right there. Now I know there is another line behind that line right here, so I just have to get close and say array, select my line. If I click on it, it's going to select the lines, the larger lines that I just created, which were 12 units. So I put a little window around, select that object, and hit enter. Then I zoom out again, go to my center, and now I'm gonna go to the number of items, and it said that I needed 60, so I type 60 and then click somewhere right here, and now you have 60 smaller lines right here. When you have everything done, you simply say close, and then you're done. And then you're gonna do the same thing right here. So 6 items right here, 3 blades here, 32 spokes right here. You've seen how I did the clock. Then you have some lines, and then you're gonna create your own right here. So that is polar array. Okay. Okay. Let's hope that we are ready.